Yeah, Stephen Bartlett, the Diary of a CEO clips. That's the channel right here. If you think, look at this. If you think AI can't replace God, you need to see this. So, but then again, I did say this is not an endorsement of like just Christianity, right? But Big Dog over here be spamming, Christian ideology. So I'm just putting this out here so that you don't. Yeah, I'm just putting it out there so that you don't get thrown off by that whole thing, right? We're not here for that. Here for the replacement of God. AI, right?
Offers me. Nobody else offers me peace. The peace of knowing that I have real forgiveness. The peace of knowing that I have a friend and a companion to whom I can talk all the time. That's been so meaningful in my life, as I spell out in detail my autobiography. And the peace of having been given a new life that will not end when I die. I'm 82 now.
Look, be honest with me in the comments. I don't know if I'm making nonsensical connections, but I feel like there's a connection that has just connected, you feel me? Look, talking about like being forgiven, having somebody to always talk. You know what I'm saying? Well, just even by those two things that he mentioned over there, right? Maybe that is why I don't know, ChatGPT or maybe Copilot or Gemini, whatever, it's always gonna give you something that you want to hear. It's mad apologetic. It's mad just like, no, maybe encouraging. It's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? But then look at this. It was programmed that way. It was programmed to tell you what you want to hear. See what I'm saying? So now, if we're talking about, AI has replaced God. So you telling me God, the idea of God, how we understand him today, it's like, he's programmed to tell me what I want to hear. Listen to how I'm about to extend on that point, right? Because when we think about people that have, the way that scriptures have been written, he's a Christian, so I'm going to do it, I'm going to do this example in the Christian context, right? I've also been like a radical Christian before, things like that, like mad religious. It was about the religion more than the Christianity, but yeah, that's another video. The thing is, bro, when we consider how the scriptures have been written and how things like, the forgiveness, the mercy of God, things like that, those sort of ideas of God are there for our own convenience, for us to keep on having the faith alive. You see what I'm saying? Whereas there are aspects of God where it's like they don't agree with how you are as a human being, but then that's against nature, because why are you a human being? And again, why has God made you the way you are if you are flawed? And now you would need his forgiveness for him to rectify that. It's like, bro, why did you even create me in this like this in the first place? So those things, they don't make sense. But to a mind that is willing to make sense out of the fact that, okay, I am a flawed human being who constantly needs this forgiveness, it's like, that's how this thing was written, gang, from the author. Like, whatever the author was, it's like you were supposed to see things this way, so it was supposed to program you to. But then that's how it was prompted. That's like the same thing if you would prompt ChatGPT to build ideas and things like that, right? But then when certain aspects of the ideas that you build with ChatGPT are challenged, you still prompt, ChatGPT, if these ideas are challenged like this, give this answer. You know what I'm saying? So everything is curated, everything is sort of scripted, everything is prompted. You know what I'm saying? So who's to say that the mind that authored things like the Holy Scriptures, you know what I'm saying? Like, that mind was programmed to think in a certain way so that you can think in the same way. You see what I'm saying? So that you can have the ideas, you can have what you want to hear, for as long as you do believe that you are a flawed human being who constantly needs forgiveness. Right? That's the base of the thing. You have to see yourself as that flawed monster who needs that forgiveness. But if you don't, it doesn't apply to you, right? It's the same thing as how it's the same thing as how you prompt maybe AI to build something, maybe a content piece video for you. think it kind of makes sense why they would say AI is replacing God, right? Continue.
Probably more than twice as old as you are. As I look towards the future, I have in my heart a certainty. Not because I've merited it, the exact opposite, because I couldn't merit it, but because Christ has done something for me through the cross and the resurrection. That may sound all mumbo-jumbo at the moment, but has done something that enables me to have a relationship that is secure, that floods over the whole of life, and has made my life what it is for the last 70 years, more or less.
I think everybody, especially in a world that's getting increasingly lonely and disconnected and isolated for many reasons, is looking for that secure relationship.
They are.
They're looking for their own, a home that can't fall down.
Yes. Yes, and a peace that doesn't fade, and an inheritance that doesn't. Exactly. You're dead right.
If I could choose that, if I could press a button and have it, I would have it. But there's this other part of my brain which will naturally interrogate whether it's real or it's true.
You're absolutely right. Why am I sitting in front of you talking about this stuff? Because I've interrogated myself about it and its truth for over 70 years. I've made myself totally vulnerable. That's why I got into all the debates with new atheists and all the rest of it, because I want to be sure. But it won't come about by pressing a button. It will come about if you're open enough to say, God, I'm open. Reveal yourself to me, and I'm prepared to take the steps that I feel are leading me onto solid ground. I do not believe that this is a process of taking a leap into the dark, but it's making a commitment on the basis of what you know already and taking a step further forward.
Okay.
And the interesting thing about this is the trust that's at the heart of everything. I trust my wife. I've been married to her for 58 years this year.
Nice.
It's evidence-based trust. I don't trust her for no reason.
Blind faith, yeah.
And the same is true of my friends, as will be the case with you. Evidence-based trust in science and in Christian things. I don't regard myself as religious particularly. And the reason is this, and it's an important reason.
Let's go.
Most religions prescribe a moral way that you try to follow, and you've teachers, gurus, imams, all the rest, priests, to keep you on the way, and then you come to a judgment at the end. And I usually draw a scale of justice. And if your good deeds tip over the bad deeds, then you get into whatever it is, heaven, nirvana, all the rest of it. That's religion. It's not Christianity,
It's not?
though many people think it is. Because if you ask them, are you a Christian? They say, well, I do my best and I hope that God will be kind. That isn't Christianity. It's the exact opposite of Christianity.
Shit. Okay.
That's a merit-based religion. And you see, the irony of all this is that we would never, or at least I don't know, some people might, but in a human relationship, we don't base our affection and relationship with someone on the basis of their merit. I have a little analogy I use that sometimes tickles people's minds. I say that I met a beautiful girl on my second day at Cambridge. I'd been